Hi, I'm Ruth Howry, a music teacher based in Devon, presenting a series of videos about music theory for absolute beginners up to around grade 8. Welcome to my cycle of fifths in chart form. Video 2. The construction of the first 6 scales in the cycle of fifths. This video assumes that you already know the music alphabet and its intervals. If you're not sure, please look at video 1 in this series. However, I will revise how the first 2 scales in the cycle of fifths are constructed. First, a reminder of the major scale pattern. Here it is with reference to the C major scale. Tone, tone, semitone, split by a tone, 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 semitone. Notice the pattern for this scale. The second half of the scale is the same pattern as the first half. The 2 halves are separated by a tone. Each major scale uses all 7 letters of the music alphabet. Each letter is only used once. The 8th letter is always the same as the first. So notice that pattern C, D, E, F equals pattern G, A, B, C. G, A, B, C is the second half of the C major scale. But G, A, B, C can also be the first half of the G major scale. Take a look at the top. There's G, A, B, C sitting neatly underneath C, D, E, F, following the pattern of tone, tone, semitone. Now the G major scale needs to continue with D, E, F. Again, look at the top, D, E, F, and of course it needs to end on G so that the last letter is the same as the first. Notice the F note is not in line with the B note. We need to take a look at the 12 letters of the music alphabet so we can see what we can choose from. We need to go a tone from E, so therefore F, just being a semitone, is no good. We need to use F sharp instead. There it is at the top, F sharp, and we'll take away the F because we can only use the F once, whether or not it has a sharp. Now we can also see that F sharp to G is a semitone. So the second half of the G major scale is D, E, F sharp, G. There it is again. Now this is where we got to in video 1. You were invited to try working out the next scale in the pattern. D, E, F sharp, G is the second half of the G major scale. It can also be the first half of the D major scale. There it is at the top. D, E, F sharp, G fits neatly underneath G, A, B, C. So the D major scale must continue in alphabetical order with A, B, C. And of course it needs to end on D, so the last letter equals the first. Notice the C note is not in line with the F sharp note. Let's take a look at our 12 notes. We need to be moving from B a whole tone, so C is only a semitone. We need to use C sharp instead to follow the pattern. Take a look at the top. C sharp fits underneath F sharp. We don't need C. And now C sharp to D gives us the semitone at the end. So the second half of the D major scale is A, B, C sharp, D. So there we have the whole of the D major scale. A, B, C sharp, D is the second half of the D major scale, but it can also be the first half of the A major scale. Let's look at the top. A, B, C sharp, D fits underneath D, E, F sharp, G. Continuing in alphabetical order from D, we've got E, F, G, and of course ending on A. Here's our 12 notes so that we can see which notes we can choose to fit the pattern. We already know that the F note needs to be F sharp to line up with B. Let's look at the top. Notice that the G note is not in line with the C sharp note. You can probably see what's going to happen now, that we're going to use the G sharp instead. Look at the top. G sharp instead of G. And of course we're going to end on A. So the second half of the A major scale is E, F sharp, G sharp, A. So now we're going to take E, F sharp, G sharp, A, the second half of the A major scale, and we're going to make it the first half of the E major scale. We're going to carry on with B, C, D, E. Here's our choice of 12 notes at the bottom. We already know the C note needs to be C sharp to line up with F sharp. There it is, take away C. Notice the D note is not in line with the G sharp note, so we're going to use D sharp instead. Again, look at the top, D sharp and not D. And of course we need to end on E. So now we have our scale of E major. B, C sharp, D sharp, E is the second half of the E major scale. And of course it can be the first half of the B major scale. There it is, the first half already there. It must continue in alphabetical order, F, G, A and B. Here are our 12 notes. We know the F note needs to be F sharp to line up with B. There it is. We know that the G needs to be G sharp to line up with C sharp, and there's that one, take away the G. Now we're noticing that the A note is not in line with the D sharp note. So of course we're going to use A sharp instead of A. Again, looking back at the top, A sharp, not A. So the second half of the B major scale is F sharp, G sharp, A sharp, B. So now look at our pattern tone, tone, semitone, split by a tone, 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 semitone. Here's the C major scale. Underneath we've got G, A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, G. And underneath that, the D major scale. The fourth one is the A major scale. The fifth one, the E major scale. And the last one is the B major scale. You can see a pattern there, how we've added those sharps in. It's given us a nice pattern that you can see, and that's the first half of the cycle of fifths in chart form. Thank you for watching video 2. See you soon for video 3.